all topo-1 isomerase inhibitors. We do not have prospective data to guide our sequencing decisions.
So let me ask you one other question, which isn't a function of either study. So whether you're on SASE or you're on Dato and you progress, what would you do?
Are you going to ask me the sequencing question?
Well, of course, you have to ask it for which there's no right answer.
That's right, exactly.
So you can say that.
Right. I'm totally teasing. So absolutely right, this is a challenge that we have. We now have multiple antibody drug conjugates, which is fantastic for our patients, yet their payloads all have a similar mechanism of action. They're all topo-1 isomerase inhibitors. We do not have prospective data to guide our sequencing decisions. We've got great retrospective real-world data that is emerging that is suggesting whatever ADC number 2 is used tends not to perform as well as ADC number 1. There's also some interesting data about using this sandwich approach of putting in an agent like eribulin in between, or at least any chemotherapy that has potentially a non-cross-resistant mechanism of action, and then coming in with the alternate ADC. But I would put in a plug that we need just more ADCs with other targets and other payloads.
Exactly. So let me ask you, assume these drugs are both approved, and that's probably a safe bet.
Right.
When you're talking to patients, let's start with side effects, because it's we're in this era of shared decision making.
Right.
When you explain the potential side effects of to patients about each of these drugs, how do you tell them, you're going to deal with potential side effects or hopefully mitigate them entirely?
So I think I would start out with saying that the kind of care that we deliver in really comprehensive quality cancer care is a team effort. So obviously you have the oncologist as part of the team, but we really rely heavily on our nursing support and our APPs and PAs that may be in clinic with us, and our pharmacists that are assisting here. And increasingly we need other subspecialists to help us out as well. So I think when we talk about toxicity, we really need to educate our patients. We need to make sure our nurses are also educated with these new therapies and understanding how to do their chemotherapy teaching to set expectation for our patients. When we have prophylactic strategies to prevent adverse events and side effects, I think we need to really lean in and make sure our patients are aware, informed, have access to those agents, and are using them appropriately. So, for example, with Dato-DXd in the TROPION-Breast02 study, we really saw that using frequent oral steroid rinses could mitigate and help prevent the stomatitis. Cryotherapy during infusion time can be helpful, ice pops, ice chips, that sort of thing. With the ocular surface tox, I think as we've engaged with more ophthalmologists and brought in optometrists as well to help us out here, we're seeing that the mechanism of action of that surface toxicity, the keratitis or dry eye, is not the same as I think what oncologists have seen with other antibody drug conjugates causing eye toxicity in other disease states. So I think for breast oncology, this is going to be something new we need to learn, but our ophthalmologists have a lot of experience in the space with other ADCs that actually cause more trouble. So again, using those steroid eye drops can be helpful, lubricating eye drops. I've even had patients doing some sort of cold compresses to the eye, minimizing use of contact lenses can all really help. Fortunately, we're not seeing adverse events that can be particularly dangerous, like interstitial lung disease, for example.